Throughout the course of this season of 1,000-Pound Sisters, viewers have witnessed the siblings go through a tremendous transformation and development. It would appear like Chris Combs is getting closer and closer to having his skin removed surgically. Fans are thrilled to see him enjoying life to the fullest, despite the fact that he has lost weight. Even more impressive is the fact that he is able to engage in strenuous physical activities, such as working on the construction of his rental house. The audience, on the other hand, believes that Chris's grandiose objectives for the rental house might be a little bit too ambitious. Some people believe that Chris Combs is in over his head. Following Tammy Slatton's departure from their sister Amanda's rental home, Chris Combs, as the star of the television show 1,000-Pound Sisters, made an offer to rent out his property to her. Fans appreciate Chris's thoughtfulness, but some are skeptical that he is aware of the skills necessary to flip a house in the right way. Also, the property is not yet in a state that would allow it to be occupied by a full-time tenant. Does he have a sense of humor? This week, a member on Reddit posted on the platform, "Chris is so delusional about that house," referring to the residence in question. On the occasion that Tammy inquired about the house, he responded by stating, "It will take 2 weeks if I stick to it, and 3 weeks if I take a day off." He is also completely serious about it. Although Chris is held in high regard by the majority of 1,000-Pound Sisters followers, they acknowledge that he may be in over his head with this endeavor. Notable Redditors have written, 6 days a week, he is out at work. How does he find the time to fix a house and drive Tammy around? Where does he get all of this time? I can understand why he is so frustrated. When he is at this position, the fact that she is not willing to learn how to drive feels like a blow to his face. Moreover, she anticipates all of this. It appears that she never expresses gratitude to them. The only thing I could do was roll my eyes when Brittany mentioned that the water and electric had not been turned on in 20 years. He is completely clueless about what, if anything, needs to be fixed in that house. The house in question ought to be condemned. It is very disgusting. It is beyond my comprehension how he will make that location habitable. I am very perplexed as to how that house is even standing. There is no chance that it will be safe even if he makes modifications to it because it is a complete and utter disaster. You are not going to be able to convince me that it is not completely infested with bugs in addition to the deterioration of the structure. It would appear that Brittany Combs is not overly enthusiastic about the living situation. According to Chris and Brittany, Tammy has been staying with them because the rental home is not yet ready for occupancy. However, Chris's daughter and grandson also reside in the house, which gives the impression that it is somewhat crowded. Despite the fact that Brittany Combs is known to be very soft-spoken and to avoid conflict, her facial expressions convey a great deal of information. Until Chris finishes Tammy's house, she can't wait for him to do it. Can you tell me what you think about the new episodes of 1,000-Pound Sisters? You are likewise of the opinion that Chris Combs will have a difficult time completing the house? Also, do you think that he has everything under control? Feel free to share your own ideas and views in the comments section below. The reality TV show 1,000-Pound Sisters has garnered an enormous following since its premiere, offering viewers an intimate glimpse into the lives of Tammy and Amy Slatton, two sisters who struggle with morbid obesity. The show's success is driven by the deep emotional and physical challenges the Slatton sisters face as they navigate their weight loss journeys. However, the series also features a colorful cast of supporting characters who contribute to the drama and emotional complexity of the show. Among them is Chris Combs, the brother of Tammy and Amy, who has sparked intense discussion among fans of the show. While Chris has become a more prominent figure in recent seasons, he has also been met with mixed reactions. Some viewers support him as a loving brother who tries to help his sisters, while others find his behavior increasingly frustrating or confusing. A growing number of 1,000-Pound Sisters fans have started calling Chris delusional, especially as certain aspects of his on-screen persona have evolved. This critique is multifaceted, addressing his actions, words, and decisions as the show progresses. In this article, we will delve into why fans are describing Chris Combs as delusional, exploring their criticisms and attempting to understand his role within the broader narrative of 1,000-Pound Sisters. The rise of Chris Combs on 1,000-Pound Sisters. Chris Combs initially appeared on 1,000-Pound Sisters as a relatively minor character. He was introduced as the older brother of Tammy and Amy Slatton, who, like their sisters, had struggled with obesity throughout their lives. Unlike the sisters, however, Chris had already undergone weight loss surgery and was working on maintaining a healthier lifestyle. His success story, at least on the surface, offered a glimmer of hope for the Slatton sisters, whose weight loss journeys were fraught with setbacks and struggles. In the earlier seasons, Chris's role was largely that of a supportive family member. He appeared on screen to encourage his sisters and offer advice, especially in moments when they seemed to be losing motivation. His appearance, especially given his significant weight loss, seemed to provide a stark contrast to the challenges that Tammy and Amy faced in their own lives. However, as the show progressed, Chris's involvement in the Slatton sisters' journey became more pronounced, and his personality began to take center stage. This shift is where some fans began to develop mixed feelings about him. While many initially admired his efforts to be a helpful and supportive brother, some viewers began to perceive a disconnect between his words and his actions. The delusional criticism. What are fans saying? The criticism that Chris Combs is delusional appears to be rooted in a series of contradictions and actions that have left viewers confused and frustrated. Some fans of the show argue that Chris seems out of touch with the reality of the Slatton sisters' struggles, often offering advice that does not take into account the deeper psychological and emotional challenges involved in weight loss. Others point to moments where Chris appears to overestimate his own abilities or makes decisions that seem more self-serving than genuinely helpful. Here are some key moments and reasons why fans have turned on Chris, calling him delusional. Chris's weight loss surgery journey. One of the central plot points in 1,000-Pound Sisters revolves around weight loss surgery, which has been an important aspect of the Slatton sisters' stories. Amy Slatton underwent gastric bypass surgery early in the series and lost a significant amount of weight. Tammy, however, struggled to meet the requirements for surgery and was consistently shown facing obstacles in her efforts to lose weight. Chris's own weight loss journey was initially presented as a success story. He had lost a significant amount of weight and appeared to be maintaining a healthier lifestyle. However, as the series progressed, it became evident that Chris had his own struggles. He began facing difficulties in maintaining his weight loss, and at one point even entertained the idea of undergoing additional weight loss surgery. Fans began to question Chris's credibility when it came to offering advice to his sisters, especially since his own journey seemed far from perfect. In some instances, his suggestions to Tammy and Amy were seen as hypocritical or lacking in self-awareness. While Chris's weight loss achievements are commendable, fans felt that his advice was often based on an unrealistic understanding of the sisters' struggles. Chris's relationship with Tammy. One of the most significant sources of frustration for fans has been Chris's relationship with his sister, Tammy Slatton. Throughout the series, Tammy has struggled with not only her weight, but also with mental health issues and a complicated relationship with food. Despite her repeated setbacks, Tammy has often expressed a desire to change her life and lose weight, yet she struggles to follow through on her goals. Chris has often attempted to intervene in Tammy's life, encouraging her to take weight loss more seriously or to push through moments of weakness. However, many fans feel that Chris is delusional in his belief that tough love or tough talk will suddenly transform Tammy's behavior. In some fans' eyes, his methods seem to ignore the deeper emotional and psychological issues that contribute to her weight gain, such as trauma, addiction, and a lack of consistent support. For instance, in one of the episodes, Chris is seen telling Tammy that she has to help herself and that he cannot do it for her. While this is undoubtedly true, fans pointed out that Chris often fails to acknowledge the complexity of Tammy's situation. He seems to oversimplify the issue, reducing it to a matter of personal willpower rather than understanding the multifaceted nature of obesity and mental health. Chris's evolving on-screen persona. Over the seasons, Chris's persona on the show has shifted. What initially seemed like a concerned, empathetic brother has at times given way to a more self-centered or self-important character. In some instances, Chris appears to relish in the attention his weight loss and personal journey receive on the show, which has led some fans to accuse him of being more interested in his own spotlight than in helping his sisters. His occasional display of arrogance or self-righteousness has led to perceptions of delusion. For example, during moments when Chris seems to believe that he alone has the answers to his sisters' problems, fans have been quick to label him as out of touch. His frequent declarations that he knows what's best for his sisters and that he's the only one who can help them have become points of contention, with some viewers seeing him as delusional for thinking that he holds the key to solving their issues. Chris's relationship with Amy. While Chris's relationship with Amy has generally been more supportive than his relationship with Tammy, there have still been moments of tension. In particular, fans have pointed to Chris's criticisms of Amy as being unfair or misguided. For instance, there have been instances when Chris has scolded Amy for not taking her weight loss seriously enough, despite the fact that she has been working hard and has had success in her journey. In these moments, Chris's tone and approach have been seen as lacking empathy. While his desire to see his sister succeed is understandable, some fans argue that he often misreads Amy's efforts and overlooks the difficulties she faces in her own weight loss journey. Again, the perception is that Chris seems delusional in thinking that his approach is the only way forward for Amy. Chris's public persona versus reality. A final source of tension between Chris and fans is the way he presents himself on social media and in interviews versus the persona viewers see on the show. Chris often shares posts about his weight loss success and personal life, which some fans see as him trying to cultivate an image of a perfect, all-knowing figure. This disconnect between the reality of his life, as shown on 1,000-Pound Sisters, and the image he projects on social media fuels the perception that he is delusional about his role in his sisters' journeys. The complexity of Chris Combs. A closer look. While the criticism that Chris is delusional is certainly a recurring theme among some fans, it is important to consider the complexity of his character. Reality TV is, of course, heavily edited and curated, and it is difficult to fully understand the motivations behind Chris's actions without seeing the unfiltered, behind-the-scenes version of events. Moreover, Chris's own struggles with weight and health are significant and cannot be dismissed simply because he is not always a perfect or relatable figure. It's also worth noting that Chris's attempts to intervene in his sisters' lives come from a place of genuine concern. While some of his approaches may appear harsh or misguided, his intentions are rooted in a desire to see his sisters succeed and improve their health. In many ways, Chris's behavior might be seen as reflective of the frustration that many family members of people with obesity experience wanting to help, but not always understanding the complex nature of the problem. In the world of 1,000-Pound Sisters, where emotions run high and every moment is under intense scrutiny, Chris Combs has become one of the most polarizing figures on the show. Some fans see him as a well-meaning but delusional brother who overestimates his own ability to help his sisters, while others view him as a supportive figure who is trying his best in difficult circumstances. Whether or not Chris's behavior is truly delusional, his evolving role on the show speaks to the challenges and complexities of family dynamics when it comes to issues of weight, health, and personal responsibility. As the series continues to unfold, it remains to be seen whether Chris will manage to redeem himself in the eyes of fans, or if his reputation will continue to sour.